For years, the world was told this place held the worst of the worst. But most of the men who passed through these cages were never charged, never tried.
I need to
never
tell you
given a
something
chance to defend
important about the
themselves.
incident.
And after the doors shut, the mask came off. They weren't searching for answers. They were manufacturing them by force. This is the truth about Guantánamo, a place built on fear, protected by secrecy, and defended with lies. This is state of corruption, where lies meet light, and power meets accountability. Guantánamo wasn't chosen by accident. It was chosen because it sits outside the law, but inside American control. A legal blind spot. Not America, not Cuba. A zone engineered to fall through the cracks. And buried in old agreements was the loophole, a place where neither country's courts fully applied. The Bush administration saw the opportunity. If the law couldn't reach this place, neither could accountability. A new category of prisoner. One that didn't qualify for rights, lawyers, or trials. And then the law itself was rewritten. Torture defined so narrowly that almost nothing counted. This wasn't improvisation, this was approval. In writing. Guantánamo became a place where the law stopped, and something else began. Hundreds were thrown inside with no charges and no evidence ever tested in court. What came next wasn't interrogation. It was organized brutality. What happened inside these rooms wasn't interrogation, it was pressure, control, a system built to break men down until they said whatever was needed. Many detainees were questioned for hours at a time, but the answers didn't matter. The goal was compliance. Stress positions were routine, standing for hours, sometimes days, until the body failed. Sleep deprivation was another pillar of the program. Lights left on all night, detainees kept awake for days. Cold cells were used to shock the body. Air conditioning on full. Detainees left soaked and freezing. Medical staff didn't stop the abuse. They monitored it, ensuring detainees came close but never crossed the line into death. Light was a weapon. Silence was a weapon. Everything inside this system was designed to break a person's sense of self. And the paper trail tells its own story. Page after page blacked out, rewritten, hidden. Guantánamo was just the end of the road. Before here, men vanished into a global network of secret prisons. Flights were disguised, routes were hidden, paperwork was shredded. This wasn't chaos. It was coordination. Inside these black sites, there were no lawyers, no oversight, no limits. And every step in this system, every transfer, every disappearance, was approved at the highest levels. Some black sites were hidden in Europe, some in Asia, some in places the US denied for years. Men were moved from site to site, hooded, shackled, nameless. For some, these rooms were home for months. For others, years. And while men disappeared into this network, the officials in front of the cameras said the same thing. The United States does not torture. All paths eventually led here, to the place where the world finally saw what the black sites tried to hide. And this is where the world finally started asking questions. Questions the US never wanted answered. When lawyers finally reached the men held here,
Good to see you.
they
Good to see
uncovered
you
something
too. How are you holding
staggering.
up?
A system with no charges, no evidence, and no plan for release. These cases were fought in courtrooms thousands of miles away because the men inside Guantánamo had no voice of their own. And yet, even inside the courts, the truth barely made it past the walls. So the men did the only thing left to them. They stopped eating, a silent protest against a system that refused even to say why they were there. And the response? Force-feeding, a practice condemned across the world. The world began to notice. Every story, every leaked report brought the truth closer to the surface. Pressure grew from activists, lawyers, human rights groups, and ordinary people across the world. Years passed. Some men were released, some were cleared but never went home, and some remain. Because for all the legal battles and political promises, this place is still open. For most of the world, Guantánamo is a memory. For the men still inside, it is every day. Today, 30 men remain. Many of them were cleared for release years ago, but are still waiting. They are not accused of a crime. They are not awaiting charges. They were simply left behind. Some have been held for more than 20 years without ever standing trial. Presidents promised to close it. Parties agreed it should end, and yet nothing changed. For some, even freedom became political. Diplomacy stalled, deals collapsed, and men remained trapped in a place the world said it no longer needed. For the men inside, time did not pass. It just stopped. And the world moved on, while their lives remained suspended in a place without an ending. Some are old men now. Some went in as boys. All of them carry scars the world will never see. But the story doesn't end at the fence, because when one man disappears, a whole family disappears with him. Guantánamo wasn't just illegal. It destroyed lives. Its impact reached far beyond the island, into homes, families, and generations. It left an empty seat at the dining table, a seat that stayed empty year after year. It took sons from their mothers. And for many, the waiting never ended. It took fathers away from their children. Children who only knew their father as a drawing. It took husbands away from their wives. And wives lived with a silence where their husbands should have been. Some returned to their families as strangers, carrying wounds no one could see. Others were forced to live in exile, in a country they didn't know. And for some, the waiting ended not with freedom, but with silence. The world justified Guantánamo with the War on Terror. It measured the prison in dollars, policies, and headlines, but its real cost was paid in living rooms, at gravesides, and in the minds of the men who survived it. This wasn't national security. It was human devastation.